DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life.
Well, here I am again with $3,000 for one of our couples. That's the most we've had this year, isn't it?
Well, I guess it is. I'm not sure, but...
Pretty close. Well, anyway, if the secret word, the duck, if anybody says the secret word, the duck will come down and pay him $100. The word tonight is street. This duck laid an egg the other day, and I've been calling him Gus for a year and a half. You may proceed, George.
Well, Groucho, we have a young...
Make it entertaining.
All right. We have a young married couple for you.
Well, that ought to be pretty entertaining.
I think so. Mr. and Mrs. John Lovering. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Say the secret word and take home an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. and Mrs. John Lovering. Well, that's an appropriate name for a young married couple, nice-looking couple. How old are you, John?
I'm 25, Groucho.
Mrs. Lovering, what is your first name?
My name's Jennifer Groucho, but I'm usually called by my second name, which is Kerry. I was named Kerry after County Kerry of Ireland, where my family first came from.
I see. Are you John's other wife?
No, we were engaged before I came across.
Oh. You came across with what, the ring?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact.
Oh. Where are you from, John?
Oh, we're both from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, and now you know. What sort of work do you do now?
I'm working on a fellowship at Caltech.
Oh, that's so. Well, what is a fellowship? Is that anything like a girl ship?
No, a fellowship is arrangement by which Caltech furnishes me with a certain amount of money to live on and some equipment to work with on a research project.
Oh, wow, that sounds pretty imposing. What project are you working on?
I'm working on meteorites at the moment.
What was that?
Meteorites.
Well, Carrie, I know you haven't been married very long, but so far, how do you like being a housewife to a meteorologist?
Well, I like it very much indeed, Groucho, but I'm only a partial housewife.
You mean you're not all there? Well, have you only got part of a house?
Well, that's true, but...
Well, what do you mean by a partial housewife?
Well,
you just half clean it?
Well, yes.
Yes, definitely. But I'm a teaching assistant at UCLA.
You're a teacher at UCLA?
Uh-huh.
You teach John?
No, he's much too clever.
Oh. Well, what do you do at UCLA?
Well, I teach optical petrology.
What was that?
Optical petrology?
Why don't you stop talking Australian and talk English? What is optical petrology translated? Is he the new Russian ambassador?
No, that's the study of thin sections of rock like granite or basalt, such as was thrown up at the Hawaiian eruption recently. And you cut it in little thin slices.
And then cook it?
No, yes, you do. Yes.
You do, huh?
And you put it under the microscope.
It's what they call a sandwich eventually, huh?
Between two little bits of glass.
I see. You study little rocks and John studies big rocks.
That's right.
You certainly were meant for each other. But it was a mighty rocky romance. You have any purpose working at UCLA? I mean, what are your plans, Carrie?
Well, I'm working on my thesis for my master's degree.
What are you writing your thesis on?
The gabbro pegmatites of the Plymouth County in the Sierra Nevadas.
I don't know how effective you are as a wife, Carrie, but I'd sure like you for a Scrabble partner. Well, I don't know what you're pursuing, but whatever it is, I think you ought to go through with it, even if you get arrested. Gary, you're a most unusual couple. What do you two do for amusement and relaxation in the evening? Do you split a few atoms?
Well, no. John usually works every night down at the laboratory.
Where?
Oh, you don't pronounce it like that. I forgot.
Laboratory.
Laboratory, they pronounce it here.
Well, if John is getting away with that cock and bull story, he's even smarter than I suspect. Well, he'd better be working at the lab. He could come home late some night and get socked over the head with a 5-pound optical petrology. Well, I must say, you're not a run-of-the-mill couple. You're most unusual, and I'd like to go on talking to you, but the time has come to play You Bet Your Life. Now, remember, we start you off with $100. And you selected the dictionary quiz, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is.
90?
90.
$90. What is the antonym or opposite of the word leeward?
Leeward.
Leeward? Leeward?
Windward.
Windward is right. Yes, that's right.
And you're off to a great start. You have $190.
Now what are you going to go for?
80.
80. What is the word meaning a confusing and baffling network of paths or passages?
Maze?
Mm-hmm. Maze.
That's right. The reason I know that, I used to be a rat many years ago. Matter of fact, I still am. Now, what are you going to go for now?
You have $270 now.
70.
$70, huh? What do you call the upholstered footstool that is usually used with an easy chair?
Upholstered footstool. Tapestry.
Something you put your feet on. In the evening?
Footrest.
Footstool.
Upholstered footstool, usually used with an easy chair.
Footrest, is that?
No, it's a hassock or ottoman.
Oh, of course.
Well, you lost half your $270. You now have $135.
We take 60.
60?
All right, 60.
60? What is the signal usually sounded by a bugle that is the command for soldiers to arise in the morning?
Reveille.
You've been in the Army, huh?
Not quite.
Well, you're absolutely right. Reveille is correct.
And you wind up with $195. Groucho, Mrs. Nettie McLean and Mr. McCabe are waiting to talk to you, so folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Nettie McLean and Fred McCabe, 2 Macs, huh?
That's right.
Nettie McLean, that's you. How old are you, little girl?
Oh, I'm 25 years old, Groucho.
25. I thought you were about 15.
I
How
wish I
tall
were.
are you?
Oh, about 4'10".
4'10". Nettie, if you were ironed out, or you ironed out all those curves, you'd be about 6 feet tall. Where's your home, Nettie?
I'm from Lima, Peru, Groucho, South
Lima,
America.
Peru?
Uh-huh.
Is that so? You say you're from Peru and your name is McLean? What brought you to the United States? And don't say an airplane, because that's a very old joke.
My sister was going out with this fellow at home, and my mother couldn't stand him, so she thought...
Your mother couldn't stand this fellow?
No. So she thought...
Was your mother going with this fellow?
No, but my sister was.
Oh.
So...
Why didn't your mother keep her nose out of this?
Well, you don't know my mother.
No, and I'm pretty happy about it, too.
Oh, no, she's real nice.
Well, I'm sure she is.
And my mother thought that if she sent us up here and, to school, she would forget him. But she didn't, and she went back to Peru and married him, and I stayed here. I went to school.
Oh. Well, how'd you get in Peru in the first place?
Well, I was born in Peru.
Oh, you were
I'm
born
from
in-
Peru.
oh.
I'm a citizen of Peru.
Oh. You're a Peruvian, huh?
Uh-huh.
Is that anything
Full-blooded Peruvian.
like a Monrovian?
Well, maybe in the spelling. I don't know about the rest of it.
Oh. Well, what did you study in school, Nettie?
I took marketing and selling.
Marketing and selling?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever get into that profession?
No, I got married.
You got... Well, that's a very successful marketing and selling job, I would say. I forgot who you are. Who are you? What is your name, sir?
Pretty near forgot myself. Farmer.
You're a very distinguished-looking fellow, Fred, with your silver gray hair. Where are you from, Fred?
Brushy Mountain, Oklahoma.
You say you were brushing a mountain in Oklahoma? What sort of work do you do, Fred? Are you a cowman or a bullman?
Well, no, Groucho, I write a little newspaper column titled Farmer McCabe Says for several
Like
papers.
S-E-Z?
Yeah.
Why don't you say S-E-S? Why do they always say S-E-Z?
Well, I just started spelling it with a Z, and I just kept on.
Where is this column published? In the folksy section of the Wall Street Journal?
No, it's published down in the Anaheim Bulletin and
several other papers down in Orange County and in some of the other states.
I see. How many readers do you think you have, Fred?
About 2 million.
2 million, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's counting the cows and the sheep, huh?
Well, if they read, well, we can have them on, too.
Well, could you give us an example of your Cracker Barrel comments, say about 2 crackers worth?
Yeah, I tell you, Groucho, I tell you, I just wrote one up here the other night. And while I was sitting down to write, I got to thinking about how to spell a certain word, so I couldn't quite spell it right, and I went to look for the dictionary, and by the time I found the dictionary, I forgot what the word was. So,
you were pretty lucky.
Yeah, I opened it up, and the first thing I saw was the word advice. And I got to thinking, advice? Well, that's the stuff the lawyers charge you for, and that's also the stuff that your kinfolks try to fill you full of, and it's the same stuff that I wish I'd have took a lot of times and didn't. And that's the kind of stuff I write.
You say the sheep and the cows read that stuff down there? Well, I'd like to go on talking to you two, but it's time to play You Bet Your Life. Now, I assume you both know how to play this game, huh?
In the race for the $3,000, the first couple won $195, and the secret word is street.
You select the geography, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, what do you want to start with? 10, 20, all the way to 100?
100.
$100.
$100. Is that all right with you?
You want? Or 70? It's up to you.
Yeah, 100, that's all right. Yeah,
$100. All right. Port-au-Prince, P-O-R-T-A-U-P-R-I-N-C-E, is the chief port and capital of what small republic?
La isla de Puerto Príncipe. Cuba, no, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
No, I'm sorry, you're close. It's Haiti.
Well, you lost half your $100. You still have $50.
All right, you're still flying high. Now, what are you going to do? You got $50.
No, let's go. 90. Let's gamble.
90.
Yeah, $90. What is the largest city in Burma?
Burma's in Africa.
No.
No?
I don't know.
Calcutta.
Rangoon.
Calcutta.
Well, you now have $25.
All right, what are you going to try this time?
My
80?
80.
What is the capital of Romania?
80.
Bucharest.
You go ahead.
Bucharest.
Bucharest is right.
Well, you now have $105.
See how quick you jump back? Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. What are you going to go for?
70.
70. On what river is the city of Quebec located?
St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence is right.
And you wind up with $175.
Well, you made a pretty good comeback.
Well, Groucho, we invited some girls who work in a restaurant to our show tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Jeannie Johnston. Her partner is a special guest, Mr. Will Foster. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Jeannie Johnson and Will Foster. Hey, Jeannie, you work in a restaurant?
Yes, I do, Groucho.
You're a pretty nice dish yourself.
Well, thank you.
Where are you from, Jeannie?
I was born in Casper, Wyoming.
Where?
Casper, Wyoming.
Oh, cowgirl, huh?
Oh, yes.
How old are you, Jeannie?
I'm 23.
23. Well, you're a mighty cute-looking dish. You say you work in a restaurant? Are you a waitress, cashier, cook, or a potted palm?
I'm a waitress, Groucho, at Aldo's Key Room in Hollywood.
Oh.
Incidentally, my boss is identical to you.
Is
he looks more like you, than
mean he
you
chases
do.
you around?
Oh, no, he looks more
Well,
like
he's
you
not
than you do.
identical to me, huh?
Well, I don't know about that either.
If I was your boss, you'd have to be picking them up and laying them down all day. Mr. Foster, where are you from? Not that I care. It's just if I don't say something, I'll get fired.
I was born on a large dairy farm in southeastern Wisconsin, the greatest dairy state in the Union and the headquarters of a lot of wonderful dairy cattle.
Now, who do you work for, Mr. Foster?
I'm with the Borden Company Cheese Division.
Well, glad to meet you. Now, what is your job there? Are you the head cheese?
No, head cheese is made from the jowls of a hog. I'm vice president in charge of advertising, sales, promotion, and duties of that kind, Groucho.
You say head cheese is made from the jowls of a hog?
That's right.
Well, now, are you the head cheese?
No, I'm just the cheese man.
Well, aside from your work in the milk industry, what else do you do? Do you have any hobbies like making model ships out of cheese?
Well, strange as it may seem, Groucho, my hobby is still cows.
It is. Back to that again.
Back to cows.
Well, bully for you. Well, I guess we're in for it. What do you know about cows?
Well, for the past 30 years, I've had a spare time business hobby of reading all the religions of the world, the histories and philosophies, and taking all references out of those readings pertaining to cattle and to dairy products and to cow yarns and cattle lore. And I honestly think that, without bragging, that I have the greatest accumulation of information about cattle of any living person.
That sounds like an utter exaggeration. Well, how much milk would you say a cow gives in a day?
Well, that will depend on the length of time from when she had her last calf. The average cow gives 5,447 pounds last year in the United States. A good cow will give 10,000 pounds a year. That's 5,000 quarts for a good cow, 2,700 for the average of the country. So you can divide it out, and you'll find that the average production would be the result of that division.
Now, you see how little you know about cows? The cow doesn't give any milk. You have to fight for every drop.
No. You see, if the cow is in a good mood, her manufacturing department's made the milk, the transportation department has carried it back to the storage tank. That's the udder. Now, in the cow's udder, this milk is in storage in this glandular mass. And milking time comes, her brain hears a message. Here's a milk
Cows
pail.
have a brain?
Oh, yes. And her brain sends a message to her pituitary gland. Her pituitary gland releases a hormone that's known as pitocin, P-I-T-O-C-I-N. That gets into the bloodstream, and in 2 minutes it's back. And it says to those glands, give down, then you start to milk. And if you milk by hand, there are 360 squirts to get the gallon on an average.
Well, it's been creamy talking to you, Will. And I'd like to continue, but the time has come to play You Bet Your Life. Now, I assume you both know the rules, huh?
In the race for the $3,000, the first couple is leading with $195.
Now, this is an old-fashioned spelling bee. You get only one chance at the correct spelling and only one answer between you. I want you to spell the word and then pronounce it. Now, the little sums are easy questions and the big sums are hard. What do you want to start with?
Start with the words,
$100.
$100. Spell the word sacrilegious, meaning violating that which is sacred. Let's have it.
S-A-C-R-I-L-I-G-E-O-U-S.
Oh, I'm sorry. You missed one letter. It's S-A-C-R-I-L-E-G-I-O-U-S.
Well, you lost half your $100. You still have 50, though.
Well, now, don't get discouraged. You got a long ways to go. What are you going to go for?
90.
90? All right with you, Jeannie with the light brown hair? Spell the word innumerable, meaning too many to be counted. Numberless.
I-N-N-U-M-E-R-A-B-L-E, innumerable.
Right.
Wow. Well, you now have climbed to $140.
80, please.
80. Spell the word mausoleum, meaning a tomb. It's a fine thing on a comedy show.
M-A-U-S-O-L-E-U-M.
Will you spell it?
M-A-U-S-O-L-E-U-M, mausoleum.
That is correct.
You now have $220.
Well, here's your last chance to beat the other couple.
70.
$70. Spell the word manageable, meaning compliant or controllable.
M-A-N-A-G-E-A-B-L-E.
Right.
And you wind up with $290.
Me too.
And that leaves with Miss Johnston and Mr. Foster with their $290. In just 1 minute, get the chance at the $3,000 question. Couple, Groucho. Miss Johnston and Mr. Foster all set for the $3,000 question. Right back in here.
All right, here we go for $3,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Only one professional fighter has ever held 3 world championships at the same time. For $3,000, who was this great boxer?
always heavyweight.
Could you repeat the question?
No, he can't. Free. He hasn't got time. It's free. You have to give your answer now.
Held the whole 3 world championships at the same time. The only one professional fighter. Who was he?
Joe Louis.
No, I'm sorry. It was Henry Armstrong. He held a featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight simultaneously. So that means the big question next week will be worth $3,500. Well, they lost the big money. How much they win in the quiz, George?
They won $290 in the
Well,
quiz.
congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.